Guys, welcome back to another Precision Rifle Network training video. This one is in the bonus content section, so maybe not quite as detailed, but you still have the ability to ask the questions and all that kind of stuff in the comments section and get answers. So this video will be a supplement to our Wind Mastery System course. So the question is, what is my gun number? Guys, Coltech sells a bunch of really sweet products, kind of like this quick close bino pouch, hold your binoculars, and a bunch of other stuff. You can use code PRN10 to get you 10% off of everything that Coltech sells over at their website. Go check them out. Well, my gun number, or my mile per hour gun, as it's sometimes called, is a wind calling estimation method that actually lines up perfectly with much of the math we've already learned in the Wind Mastery System course. But it's arguably a faster way to get an initial wind guesstimate in the field when you're in a hurry. The basic idea is that you take the first number of your G1 ballistic coefficient, and that becomes your gun number. This number corresponds to a full value wind of the same number from 270 degrees, or 9 o'clock. It then further corresponds to a mil-radian value of the same number. And all that together gives you an idea of how much the wind affects your bullet. Clear as mud? So let's give you an example. Let's say you're shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor round. It's a 140 grain bullet with a G1 BC of 0.610. The velocity isn't quite as important for understanding the calculations, but let's just say it's going around 2,800 to 2,850 feet per second. That speed will actually affect the BC, but in most cases from a 6.5 Creedmoor, it's going to be right around that G1 BC of a 0.6 something. It might be 0.595, it might be 0.610. It's basically a 0.6. So what you want to do is take the first number of the BC, which in this case is a 6, and that becomes your gun number. Your gun number is 6. It means you have a 6 mile per hour gun. Congratulations. Makes perfect sense, right? So what it actually means is a 6 mile per hour gun fires a bullet, and that bullet will drift 6/10 at 600 yards in a full value 6 mile per hour wind from that 270 or that 9 o'clock direction. A quick note here, if we look at the ballistics app for a full value wind from the 90 versus the 270, you'll notice they are not quite the same. And this is because the 270 direction allows for that right twist of your barrel, whereas the 90-degree wind is trying to counteract that right twist. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's let that sink in for just a second with the 6/10, 600 yards, 6 mile per hour wind. It's really pretty mind-blowing when you first grasp this concept. What's even crazier is that now your dope for a 500-yard target in that same wind will be 5/10. What about a 400-yard target? 4/10. 800 yards? 8/10. Every yardage line adds up now. It lines up. That is out to about 900 yards. And then further than that, and because of gravity and time, the bullet drops more, the BC starts to degrade, and so you end up having to add an extra tenth or so. So your call for a 900-yard target is probably more like 1 mil instead of 9/10. It's just the way the math shakes out. Now, what if your wind is closer to 12 miles per hour instead of 6? Exactly right. You just double it. 12 mile per hour full value wind is now 1.2 mils instead of 6/10 for that same 600-yard target. I'm guessing at this point you're picking up what I'm laying down here, but let's do one more example just to be sure. We now have a 6 mile per hour gun and we have a target at 800 yards. The wind is roughly 11 miles per hour from our 10 o'clock. What's our tri-dope wind call based on the gun number method now? A little bit more difficult, isn't it? Yeah, it changes a bit when you start adding in the angles and the different things, but once you understand the gun number completely, it really starts to make these wind problems easier to solve on the fly. So here's the way my mind solves this. In a 12 mile per hour wind, my full value dope would be 1.6 mils for that 800-yard target. Yes, it's closer to an 11 mile per hour wind like we said, but that single digit of miles per hour in the wind, it just really won't matter that much at that 800-yard target. But we still have to account for that angle. Now the cosine value for that 10 o'clock angle is 0.45, like we learned about in the Wind Calling Mastery course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 0.45 from 1.6, and I get a 1.1 to 1.2 mils for my tri-dope wind call. Now, if we compare this using our Applied Ballistics Quantum map, we see that it estimates the wind hold to be 1.3 mils for this same exact scenario. Now, that tenth of a difference may or may not matter depending on the size of target you're shooting, but what you can hopefully understand is that the gun number method for wind calling got us really, really close without having to use a Kestrel or an app or even a paper chart. Bottom line, a little learning and memorization of this method can go a long ways. As always, if you have any questions, take them into the community comments section, and myself, Rex, or Cullen will gladly help you guys out. Thanks for watching.